Hi Declutter Club, and welcome to my living room. Today we are going to be talking about organizing and maintaining organized space in your living room. And I want to kind of go back to where we were when we were talking about goals for our spaces, and we focused on that quite a bit in the kitchen. And then we went into our closets and things like that. But I would like to go and kind of review why we set goals for our room, for each space in our house. And that is because each room in our house is supposed to serve a purpose for us. And if we have that purpose in the forefront of our mind, then we are going to organize our belongings revolving around that. We're going to put things in that specific room to achieve that purpose. In the living room, that's the biggest thing for a living room. What do you want to do in your living room? Now, some people play video games in their living room. Some people play board games. Some people want to encourage reading. Some people want to encourage conversation. Some people want to encourage watching great TV shows and catching them on Netflix or watching a fun movie. There's all sorts of things that we want to do with our living room, but each family is different and we each have different goals. So my living room is going to look different than yours because we are going to have different goals for our space than you do, and that's okay. So our goals for our space, we are big board game people. And if you know my husband, you're probably giggling about that right now because that is an understatement of the century. My husband loves board games. So we have a bunch of board games. And I'm going to show you the space where we store them in just a second. But one thing about board games is they're large and they can be kind of hard to store. So we had to seek out storage that could contain the board games that we wanted to keep. Now, what happened when we first moved in and as the years have gone by in this house, we've realized that not all the board games that we have are going to fit in there. And so a lot of times in living rooms, you need to force yourself to keep only the things that fit in the space that you have for it without looking cluttered and overwhelming. Because another goal for our living room is to be peaceful and to be at rest here and to kind of rest as a family because there's enough space for all of us in here. So in order to do that, we needed not a lot of extra clutter, not a lot of extra chaos going around in this room. So again, we needed to make sure that all those board games were fit in a certain spot and that we only kept the ones that could fit in there. And that allowed us to really kind of look at which ones we loved and which ones we actually played. And we got rid of the rest. They didn't fit. There was no space for them. And so we got rid of them, and we haven't really missed them. So the second thing we have in here is a collection of books. Now, again, people know, if you know me personally, you know that's my thing. And I talk about how everybody has a thing. And that kind of thing usually is something that you have a really hard time getting rid of, and you have a hard time organizing and being decisive about. That's books for me. So I chose only the books that pertain to the family, and those are the ones that stay in here. So we've got one section where we've got board games. We've got one section where we've got books. We also set up a little area for the kids to read because we want to encourage reading in this room as well. Whether we're reading individually or reading collectively, we wanted to set up a little area for them to read that's just their size. All right, for a quick little tour, this is the reading area that I was telling you about. So there's a basket of books for the kids and a kid-sized chair for them to sit and enjoy the books in. And it is just crazy cute to watch our little 2-year-old climb in there and grab a book and put it on his lap. And oh my gosh, I just can't think of a whole lot of things that are cuter than that, but it's pretty awesome. So this has definitely served its purpose and allowed us to live out our purpose for the living room, and that is to encourage reading. Fireplace, we make sure to keep as simple as possible because we want it to be a focal point of the room. We absolutely love having fires in our fireplace and enjoy that as a family. So we made sure that that was a focal point of the room. And here are the infamous games. Okay, so we were able to fit all the ones that we wanted to in here, but we also kept a basket here for the card games and the games with smaller parts because those are much more difficult to store. Although it's going to be kind of hard, and this challenge may last a little bit longer than 10 minutes today, I want to encourage you, if you're doing games, to pull all the games from everywhere in your home to the middle of your living room floor or your kitchen table or wherever you're planning to do your sort. Same thing with books. However, I would stick, if you are not going to put, I would do either children's books or adult books. I would not do both at the same time because my guess is you have quite a few of both at your home, maybe, if you're a book person. And the same with DVDs. Grab the DVDs from everywhere in your home. Pull them all together in one spot and then go through them. I would not just go through the games in your living room and just go through the DVDs in your living room because I'm sure there are some throughout your home as well. So pull them all together before you make your decisions. You may find you have duplicates of some things, which it's fine, but that will allow you to make some pretty quick, easy decisions that way too. So just to repeat, pull whatever you're choosing to do, whether it's books, games, or DVDs, pull all of that one item from your entire home. So look everywhere for these kind of things.